What's going on, everybody? Ryan Pineda here. In today's video, we are going to be talking about the newest social media app that is taking over the world. So if this is your first time to my channel, welcome. My name's Ryan Pineda. We talk about a whole bunch of things on this channel, with social media influence being one of them. And if you don't know, I actually have a course on social media influence. You can definitely check it out with the link below. But I want to talk about this new app that is taking over the scene that a lot of people are jumping on, called Clubhouse. And for the last few weeks, I've had a lot of people ask me about it, what my thoughts are going forward. Is it something that they need to get on to build their social media influence? And I'm going to go over all of those things today. So we're going to go over 3 different subjects in this video. First part is going to be how Clubhouse actually works, how to utilize it, and all those things. The second part is going to be how should you use it for your personal brand and social media influence. And then the third part is my opinion on whether or not it's a fad or it's something that's going to be here to stay. So right now, the only way to download Clubhouse is through the iPhone. I'm sure at some point they're going to make the app for Android, but right now you gotta have an iPhone if you want to get on Clubhouse. Second part is you've got to be invited in. So you can go sign up for Clubhouse, but it does not mean you're going to be able to actually participate in it. Somebody else is gonna have to approve you getting in. Now, once you get in, there are many ways that you could describe Clubhouse, but I would say it's kind of a mix between a speakeasy and a literal clubhouse like a baseball team or a football team or whatever would have. So while using the app, you can do one of 2 things. You're either going to join a room or you can start a room. When you log in, rooms are already gonna be going on that you can just join and listen in on. Now, there's one caveat with the rooms. You can only see rooms of people that you follow. So if I follow my friend and he's got a room going on that he started, I will see that he has this room. But there are a ton of other rooms going on that I have no idea about because I don't follow any of those people in the room. So you definitely want to follow a lot of people who you're interested in, because you won't know if they're in a room or not unless you follow them. The other option, like I said, is you could start your own room. So I could go just start a room up right now by myself if I wanted to. But there's a lot more power in starting a room with other people, because now all of their followers are notified as well when that room is going on. And that's why you're seeing right now a lot of rooms with about 20 different people as moderators. And don't worry, I'm gonna get into moderators later, but just understand that by having 20 people as moderators, they're now able to get way more eyeballs on the room because all 20 people's followers now see the room. If I only tried to start a room by myself, there's not gonna be that many people who know about the room. So it's really important to collab on Clubhouse. Now let's talk about these moderators and how the room actually works. So the first level are the moderators. They're the ones who are actually leading the room. They're the ones who are able to speak. They're the ones creating the conversation. And they're the ones that people are joining the room to see talk. And so to become a moderator, you can either start your own room where you're automatically going to be one, or if you join a room, a moderator can also allow you to become a moderator. Now, obviously, if you're some random person, a moderator's probably not gonna do that, but if you know somebody who is a moderator, send them a text or send them a DM and let them know, hey, can you make me a moderator so I can talk in this room? And being a moderator is really powerful because not only can you speak and add value to the room, but the people who are also in the room who are not moderators are gonna follow you. By being a moderator, you kind of just have this status where people automatically give you authority. Now, we know the moderators are the ones that people came to see speak. They're the ones running the room. They're why people are in there. But the next level below the moderator are the people that the moderators follow. So it will show you in Clubhouse that these people are followed by the moderators. They must be pretty important too if the moderators are willing to follow them. So it is still worth it to be in a room, even if you're not a moderator, but a moderator follows you. If they follow you, you're gonna show up in this second tier and people will still end up following you. And you probably just wanna sit in the room anyway, just so you can see what the moderators have to say. You're interested in the dialogue, and a moderator may end up asking you to be a speaker up there. So you might end up being a moderator anyway. The last level would be just the people in the room who are not followed by the moderators. They're not moderators. They're just people viewing. And this is what most people are gonna do because they just wanna see what these people have to say. That's why they're following them. And it's really cool just to see these other people talk about. I've sat in rooms with Grant Cardone. I sat in rooms with other big entrepreneur influencers. And it's cool to just hear them talk raw back and forth. So that's pretty much the basics of how a room works on Clubhouse. When I go to my feed, I can see a ton of different rooms and I can go jump in and out of rooms, just depending on if I like what they're talking about or not. And the rooms have subjects on them. They also show a list of who's actually in the room. So you can decide really from the get-go if you want to stay in that room or not. Now look, I've been experimenting with Clubhouse, just sitting in on different rooms, being a moderator in different rooms. And I'll tell you this one thing. These people are sitting in rooms for hours. I'll jump in a room for a little bit, listen in, then I gotta go do something, and then 6 hours later, I'll go back on Clubhouse and that room is still going. So it's crazy how long these guys are chilling in there just talking. So the concept is definitely different than anything else that's out there, and it's really cool. Now let's talk about ways you can use it for your personal brand. First thing I would do is jump in as many rooms as possible where you can become a moderator. Even if you don't say anything, by just sitting there as a moderator, you are gonna gain followers if you're in the right room. Now look, I haven't spent much time on Clubhouse and I'm gonna get to why later on in this video, but I jumped in one room as a moderator. When I joined the room, I had 100 followers. An hour later, I had 450 followers. And I know if I put the time in and just joined other rooms as a moderator, I could get thousands of followers really quickly. Even if I never said anything, just by association of being a moderator in that room. So if you wanna grow, definitely become a moderator in rooms. Second thing you need to do on Clubhouse is make sure you fill out your bio. Include who you are, where people can contact you, link your Instagram account to it, that way people can message you. On Clubhouse, there are no direct messages, so you gotta make sure you have your Instagram attached so they can DM you. My bio is very similar to what I have on Instagram, what I have on TikTok. It's really simple. I probably should put more time into it, but I'm not really sold on Clubhouse quite yet to really devote that time. Third thing I'll say is definitely follow other moderators and shoot them DMs on Instagram if you like what they said. These are gonna be great people to collab with down the road. They're gonna be great resources for you. In fact, that 1 hour I spent as a moderator in the room, I had a former NBA player who's now doing real estate developments send me a DM on Instagram and he said, hey man, I saw you on the Clubhouse floor. I'm doing deals in Vegas. Can we connect? And this is an NBA player who's made tens of millions of dollars. This is a good connection. And it's all because I just sat in as a moderator for an hour. And that alone should convince me to start putting some effort into Clubhouse, but I'll explain why I'm not super convinced quite yet. Anyways, that's how I would currently use it in my personal brand at the moment. I'm sure things are gonna change as it evolves. It's still a very new app, so they're working out some things. Now, let's talk about my thoughts and why I'm not super sold on it yet. Number one, I do like the concept, so don't get me wrong. Podcasts are going to be its biggest direct competition. I definitely found myself saying, should I be listening to this Clubhouse or would I be better served just listening to a podcast right now? Because Clubhouse has to be on in the background for you to be in a room. If you don't want the volume, you gotta leave the room. So you're constantly in Clubhouse a lot. So I do think if it ends up sticking around, podcast will be the first target. You're either gonna see people listen to podcasts less, or you're gonna see the podcast people start trying to host Clubhouse rooms as well. But let me talk about why I think it might end up just being a fad more than something here to stay. My first big problem with it is none of the content is saved. If we start a room and we spend 6 hours in the room, the minute we close the room, everything is gone. All the content we just had does not show or stay there. Whereas when I make this YouTube video, you guys can watch this the rest of your lives. As long as YouTube exists, this video will be on YouTube. If I go post something on Instagram or TikTok, it's gonna stay on my feed and people can go watch it. And so that's a big issue for me because the only way people can discover you is if you're in a room right that moment live. You know, it's very similar to Instagram Live or Instagram Stories where it just disappears and it's gone. And I actually give Instagram credit because they allowed you to now keep lives on your feed as an IGTV. That was really smart of them because if somebody's gonna spend an hour on IG Live, it would be nice to be able to keep that all the time and allow other people to watch it forever. Clubhouse currently is not constructed that way, so all that time you spend in a room ends up just vanishing. Other part I dislike about it is that the rooms last so long. I honestly don't have time to sit in a Clubhouse room for 3 hours, 4 hours. Even if I was a moderator and I wanted to just get the followers and stay in the room, I couldn't use my phone because it's playing in the background. I'd have to go throw my phone somewhere else and just sit in the room and have no idea what's going on. Hope no one asks for my opinion because I'm not there. I'm not a big fan of doing that, and I'm also not a big fan of sitting in a room for a couple hours and then maybe only talking for a couple of minutes. Think about it. If you're collabing with, say, 15 people because you want to get this really big room, how often are you actually gonna talk? There's 15 high-level people in this room with you, and they're all gonna be talking about different things. So I might spend a couple hours in a room and only speak for a couple of minutes. Once again, I'd rather just make a YouTube video and tell you exactly what I wanna tell you. Lastly, the big thing that could probably hurt Clubhouse is Instagram. Instagram could very easily copy this concept with IG Live. Right now on IG Live, they allow you to collab with one other person, but there's nothing to stop them from doing the exact same thing Clubhouse is doing and basically do a Zoom. You could have 10 people on the live and then you have everyone else just listening in like IG Live is now. And I can promise you, Instagram is watching what Clubhouse is doing and they are tracking them. They're figuring out if this is something they need to be developing and copying or if it's gonna be a fad and they shouldn't really devote too much time into it. They'll let Clubhouse tell them that. And if you wanna see what Instagram can do, just go ask Snapchat what happened after they copied them. If Facebook and Instagram have proven one thing, they're really good at copying other companies. So where does that leave us for where Clubhouse is going? If I had to put money on it at this very moment, I would guess it's gonna be a fad. I just don't think people are gonna sit in rooms for hours and hours talking about this stuff, especially when it doesn't lead to evergreen content that can be repurposed. Now, could Clubhouse fix that problem? Absolutely. But then they're gonna face the other problems of Instagram copying them and a bunch of other things. And Clubhouse will definitely adjust. I'm very curious to see what they end up changing. When I first jumped on it, they only allowed you to invite one person in the beginning. So I got my one invite, I approved somebody, and then I could never approve anyone else to join Clubhouse. Now everyone gets multiple invites. I don't even know how many it is. I'm sure at some point they'll just scrap the whole invite thing once it's big enough and then anyone can join. And so I'm sure they'll adjust and I'll definitely be watching, and maybe I change my mind at some point when they make some different adjustments. But I'll tell you, I don't think it's gonna be something that I'm personally gonna put a lot of time and energy into. But anyways, let me know in the comments, are you on Clubhouse right now? What are your thoughts? What did you think about what I just said? I'm very curious to see. And if you got value out of this video, do me a big favor, go hit the like button. If you're not already subscribed, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Also, go follow me on all my other socials. And if you want to grow your social media, definitely check out my Social Media Influencer Academy. I'll link to it below. And anyways, appreciate you guys for watching. Take care.